Chapter 16. Once we dropped off all of Amazo's parts, we took Miss Martian's bioship back to Mount Justice, and at that point, Kid Flash's legs weren't a twitching mess due to being shocked by taser bolas of all things, so he was able to walk out of the bioship under his own power. When we got into the mountain, however, we were greeted with the form of Batman stepping out of the shadows of the briefing and teleporting room. I couldn't help but wonder how long Batman waited for us, as we certainly did waste a bit of time when we sent a message to the League that we were on our way back, but on the way back we still had Superboy and Miss Martian pick up some food for the kitchen. But he didn't show any sign of impatience as he strode in front of, and as he looked at me, he spoke simply. Explain why using an attack that cost more than $500,000 in damaged government highway property was necessary. If Batman was trying to lean over me or something, I would have gotten defensive, but I could tell that he was looking for an honest reason for my actions and was only looking for the reason that I had caused so much damage. I had the most flying monkeys after me, and rather than allow Amazo to retrieve its arm, I decided to annihilate said arm, so should Amazo get put together, as it very well did. We could either deal with it or survive its rampage until the League could come assist. I explained, and Batman didn't show any expression for a couple moments before he nodded. Your choice in denying Amazo was the right one. However, next time you wish to destroy some sensitive materials in order to perform your mission, throw the material into the sky and destroy it in the atmosphere, or even shoot it out of the planet's orbit, Batman ordered, and thinking back I realized that certainly would have been the better choice than all but nuking the ground with my Zero. Should such destruction be needed, I will do that then, I said, and Batman grunted in response and turned to Superboy and began pointing out his flaws during the mission before once again moving on to Aquaboy and the rest before he finally looked back to Robin. Robin, when Amazo was activated, you should have sent the League a message, as such a foe was far out of your grasp. Batman scolded before he sighed and continued in a softer tone. It took 8 League members consisting of Wonder Woman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, and others several hours to deal with him. You could have died just because you forgot to send a simple message. Robin wilted and honestly looked ready to even cry, so I draped an arm around the shoulder of the by far youngest member of our team, if you didn't count Superboy. You all did phenomenally, especially you, Jake. Being able to disable the Amazo android is a grand feat you can be proud of. Batman then cleared his throat, gathering the team's attention that drifted away when he was congratulating me. Now for the next couple of days you have some leave time, so I suggest you all get some rest before getting into some training, as we may have a mission for you and possibly even a new teammate, as Green Arrow has a project that he may need to step away from for a couple nights. With how Red Arrow/Speedy being found, I didn't think Artemis would even be joining. I thought as Batman left the briefing room, and I followed my teammates as we went into the kitchen and began preparing a late dinner. So, who is our new team member supposed to be? Wally asked as he finished eating a burrito and burped. Think it's going to be a hot girl? I couldn't help but facepalm at how the hormones were controlling Wally, but then again even he had realized that Megan had singled out Superboy as a sort of crush and only half-heartedly bothered to flirt with the Martian anymore. So, he was probably looking for new girlfriend material, as frankly dating civilians was a terrible idea with our dual identities. Wally, I want you to think for a moment. How many superheroines or even villains are actually ugly? Everyone paused and had to think about that, as really when someone drank the crazy juice to go running across building tops in spandex, they were all hot. If anything, Kid Flash frowned before the normally spastic teen spoke something kind of deep. But even if she is hot, would she be hot because she was hero material, or was she actually hot as a woman and not just us men in this job, accepting that she was a worthy mate that could keep up with our lifestyles? While Wally, if your chin didn't have salsa on it, I could think of you as one of my Atlantean philosophers. Calder joked, making the speedster hurried to wipe his mouth clean with a paper towel. But then the only resident female coughed, and I wanted to Sonido out of the room as Megan politely asked for us to keep her out of guy talk, as it was uncomfortable for her. As soon as another couple girls join the team, you girls will be having girls' time and talking about us and other boys, I said, shuddering at the memory being forced into an almost entirely female Spanish class back in high school, and even worse, the Spanish teacher was the cheerleader coach, so I and the other 2 men in the class had to stick together as the other 30 girls in the classroom would bully us. Anyway, good job guys, I look forward to training with you Superboy. I need more human-like combatants to train with, I said, stretching as I stood up and left the dining room as I was ready to get some sleep in my comfortable bed.